Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. The weather was nice. It was nice, to be out and about. Hope you all did the same. How's everybody doing today? Hey, Peekaboo, Serenity, J. Cal's in the house, Caroline, Darlin Tammy, One Shot, Mystic Butterfly, Lee the Bee, Roberta, Caroline, Gary, Lori, Angel, the Chip Stelco. Angel needs our prayers and well thoughts today. So if we can take a moment to send them with her and hope that everything goes well, that would be greatly appreciated. Who is the flying monkey? Well, that's no other than Joseph Lasniak. Joseph P. Lasniak, an attorney out of, is he an attorney? I don't know. A gentleman out of Delaware County, Pennsylvania. Hey, Proud Mimi, thank you for being number 70 on the way in. Appreciate you. Correct, and I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great day at work. Poetic, feisty, mystic with the 69, starting off naughty. Hey, Joe. Hindsight, Lady K9, Pika Boo, Doohickey, Candy Bee Art. Yeah, he's hard to recognize. He looks different everywhere you see him. Still sweaty and greasy looking, but different, I suppose. Hey, Jackie. Starfire. Well, I was going to make Seth the Wizard, but really behind the actual, bullcrap of it all, Seth thinks he's in power, but he's not. You know what I mean? So I would argue that behind the actual curtains is hung. Um, Seth is really just the Wicked Witch. He thinks that he's in control, but he's not. They did a good job at making him believe that he was. Hey, Goody. Tootie, Beautiful Disaster, Grey Wolf, Mrs. In My Opinion, Ronnie, Megan, Pristine, Freestyle. Oh, he's so creepy, Pointer Lover. If it wasn't for my kids and his, I likely would have said something. We did make eye contact. I think he knew I was me. Nick is the Scarecrow. He is. Baby Boop, good morning. Herc. I knew he was right away. I knew that ratty, greasy rug anywhere. Oh, gosh. Hey, Bama. Taking me to work. Yay. Tracy, remember when they used to do take your kids to work day? I used to love doing that. Tinkerbug, good morning. Absolutely, Angel. He's actually the Tin Man. Tony is the Tin Man. Only because Dog resembled the Cowardly Lion, so I made him the Cowardly Lion. I don't know. I didn't put too much thought, just kind of what looked right. Maybe still. And it worked out for me. That's the way I see these guys. Lip locked. Flying Monkey. I was gonna throw Betty in there, but the green team doesn't even recognize her, so why should we? Oh, isn't that a sad truth? Hey, Elser. So I appreciate you all being here. I know with me not having like an actual schedule and never knowing when I'm going live, it's hard to know when I'm going live. So I do appreciate you guys being in here. Um, I'm trying to get back to my regular streaming. Of course, I usually don't stream on the weekend as is. It's very rare that I do. But I want to show you guys something. Speaking of the person that doesn't even get recognized by her own quote unquote team members, that's right, Lip Locked. Let's hit the thumbs up. Hey, CJK. Stassi, I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. I am going to do better going forth. So thank you. It has really messed me up. My algorithm's messed up. I know, my alerts are messed up. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to look. Oh, Hannah, good morning. I don't know how I do either. I actually, let's get this out the way. Hey, yeah. I did. I was told that Brittany, I have a lovely letter to Brittany, if you will. But I was told that Brittany made the asinine comment that I created a revenge campaign against her. I'm tired of going everywhere and seeing Brittany. Let me just make that very clear. I'm not even participating in this quote unquote revenge campaign that I supposedly orchestrated. I don't think Brittany deserves any more attention than the gum on your shoe. Get it off and throw it in the trash, right? I don't like her. I can't stand her voice. I can't stand her perpetual victimhood. She is a pathological liar. It doesn't matter what you say and do. She will never take accountability for anything. I have dealt with her for years now. The gaslighting is out of control and she makes me sick. She literally makes me physically ill. Hearing her voice makes me physically ill. What actually happened was Brittany started a revenge campaign against me, but she can't take accountability and she will never take accountability. So instead, she projects her own doings and her own insecurities out into everybody else. I was successful in a revenge campaign that Brittany attempted against me. I have nothing to seek revenge on other than going inside the courtroom and making sure that you are held accountable for your stupidity, your ignorance, your perpetual fake victimhood, and that's it. Outside of that, everything you get is because of what you give. The shit that you gave to Chris and Katie, the fact that you rode a missing child's back into a courtroom in Pennsylvania to take out your revenge, the comments you made against Jay and her family, the comments you made against Queen and hers, the comments you made against Clue and Cletus, and the allegations you made against Nonsense's partner, and they're all the reason people dislike you. It's not solely because of me. I know you see me as so powerful and so influential because you idolize me, but not everybody else envisions me the way you do. It is about high time you get over me and move the fuck along. Somebody said, I don't know who else, how Brittany made it this far. Who would she blame if not you? Well, the truth is, she did blame somebody before me, and it was Melissa, and everything was Melissa. And it was the ex-mods and Melissa. It was a mean group of girls, a mean group. And then it became there was literally seasons, right? There were seasons to it. The mean girls labeled themselves seasons. So they were season 1, season 2, season 3. I don't care if she's speaking directly to me, ICU. I'm telling you how I feel because I'm tired of being thrown into her bullshit. Just like she reads my community post and she's so vain, she thinks everything in it pertains to her. Okay. So that's the problem I have. If Brittany shut the fuck up, there would be no responses, but she doesn't because she enjoys it. Now, I did see a commenter say, and something that Megan just wrote, that they speak for themselves. So at this point, we want to make it very crystal clear, okay? If you are an adult in my chat and you are a self-accountable adult, and you recognize that your behaviors and actions do not reflect on anybody aside from yourself, can you please put a 1 in the chat so we can all clarify that you speak and act on behalf of yourself and solely yourself, that only you are responsible for any comment you make, any action you decide to take. It all reflects on you. It's not because of me. It's not because of Queen. It's not because of Clue. It's because you feel that way. There we go. That is our disclaimer. Okay. There it is. All the ones take accountability for themselves. No more gaslighting and acting like anything somebody else's subscriber does falls on them. But whatever your subs do is all fine and dandy, and nobody should even look at your site. Oh, I'm so tired of these people. Oh my goodness, Kim. Holy shit. Thank you so much for the Cash App. Wow, that was really unexpected and very amazing of you. Thank you. Lots of ones. And Apple Bottom's going to follow it up. She does have a brain, unlike the person in our thumbnail, and no one tells them how to think or feel. So everybody put out their disclaimer. There you go. All right, before I get into my my personal, not personal, the letter to Brittany Lasniak and Castor, I do want to play you guys something because I want to see if anybody else hears the sheer stupidity, irony, and ridiculousness in this statement. I know you guys were shocked, like, wait, Betty on the screen? Yeah, or because those words don't like totally describe Betty entirely, but yeah. Listen, I would say listen close, but you don't have to listen close.
I go by my assessment. I mean,
why do these people like I don't mean to stop so soon, but why do they purposely self-stutter? I like I don't know if she thinks it's cute or what it is, but thank you, butter. I really respect that. That you can admit that I don't like you doing it, but you're going to do it. Just like when I asked creators to please just ignore Brittany and they didn't, right? Terry Lynn, thank you so much. I understand that you guys are going to do what you want to do, and I don't control anybody. Therefore, what can I do? Are those little bean things? Do you remember those? And they were kind of like do like flips and stuff on their own. I guess they were meant to like replace Mexican jumping beans. Is the stutter because she's lying? I think she thinks it's cute, if I'm being honest. You know who else like self stutters? The glare. All right. Anyway, moving along.
I feel like this child, and I go by my assessment. I made it early on assessment that I said that she started resenting her son.
Hey,
she started looking at her son as a defective person. She started feeling like he was a ball and chain around her neck. And it was helped in
there she goes again with Katie felt like he was a defective child. Now, the only reason somebody would think that way or say something like that is because that's how they view people like that, right? Again, listen to what people are saying. She doesn't know Katie. She doesn't know anything about her to feel that way. But that's how Betty views children with disabilities. This is what these people do. They speak how they actually feel, but they project it onto others.
And metamorphed into what it is because of Chris and his family. They were not kind to Sebastian. They talked to him horribly. We've seen posts, and they thought this was normal. And they thought that everybody...
Wait a minute. What post did we see? What post did we see of the Bowersox speaking horribly to Sebastian? Because I would love to see that. But again, these people say these things and they never back it up with proof, right?
He was okay with it. Well, most of us are not okay with how they were treating him or talking to him. And they did this right in front of his face. So
that would be what talking to somebody is. Normally it's right in front of their face. Like,
this child felt very, I'm sure at some point, very insecure. And when Chris finally took his underwear away and gave him to Seth and started making this child wear diapers all day.
All right, did you hear that? Let's revisit it. Yada! You guys, Terry Lynn, Yada, Kim, thank you so much for the cash apps. I actually have to get my car fixed because my two windows in my car will not roll down. The other one I can't control. So I do have an appointment to get my car fixed today, but we have an orthodontist appointment. We have a lot of appointments. So that honestly helps so much. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's rewind this back because this was interesting.
So this child felt very, I'm sure at some point, very insecure. And when Chris finally took his underwear away and gave him to Seth and started.
So we're to believe that. But let's go with it, right, Stassi? Let's entertain Betty's ramblings for today. If Chris took away Sebastian's underwear and he gave them to Seth because he was forcing Sebastian to wear quote unquote diapers, then Seth was fully aware. So where was Daddy Dearest to put his foot down and say, my son, if there weren't good reasoning for it, my son's not going to wear diapers because you're an abuser. The only way that would be possible is if Seth was fully aware, which I truly, deep down in my heart, believe and know that Seth Rogers was aware that there were difficulties taking place pertaining to Sebastian. Okay? But why didn't Daddy Dearest step in If everything Betty thinks she knows came from Seth, why didn't Seth take Sebastian when he was asked to take Sebastian? Why did he say, I'll give him a year to get his shit together? Because what Betty's going to say next, following this statement, also pertains to Seth. But because she's so jaded and biased and she just has her eyes on one thing and one thing only, she doesn't realize how stupid she sounds.
Making this child wear diapers all day, I'm sure that just did him in on his self-esteem. They literally robbed this child of everything. Chris and Katie.
No, that would include Seth. You said Seth was aware. That includes Seth.
They literally robbed this child of everything.
Unless Seth's a bitch and everything he said on Josh's and then didn't bother showing up to the court. Well, I was an adult, Queen bee in her hive. I was an adult. So what kind of question even is that? That's like a dumbass question. I'm not a disabled teenager that needs my father. Okay. So there's such a difference here. And the fact that you, again, are another person that is so hate driven that you can't even use logic to come up with a better statement than that. And instead you try to reflect it back onto me when we're speaking about a missing child and his parents, tells us far more about you than your stupid little name ever could. And really, I think your main issue is you can't fit in anywhere. Why don't you come up, use your actual account, and let's talk for a minute? Let's hear your real voice. But you won't, because you'll sit behind an old account. You'll talk shit about everybody else's real life. And I can just imagine what you look like behind that old account. You want me to show you? I'll show you. This is likely who and what you are behind that screen. You just feel so empowered. So empowered, right? Because nobody sees you, nobody cares about you, nobody actually likes you. So you use an alt account that you know will get people's attention because you so badly want to be seen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you were so alone. Now let the adults talk.
Isolated him. They treated him like crap. They couldn't handle having an autistic child going through puberty. They just wanted to wash their hands of him and be done with it. They didn't want him anymore.
Again, why didn't Daddy Dearest step up? If all of this is true, we know that the parents, hey, young Wheezy, the parents all spoke amongst each other. So why didn't he step up? Sarah, what do you play? And I love that. Hey, Brandywine, good morning. Darcy, good morning. Bree, AT, my girl, good morning.
I don't know how we can solidify that in people's head. They have been trying since October of 2022.
You have been trying since February, or not February, March, April, May, probably around June when you got kicked out of JLR's group. You've been trying since then to convince us that you are correct in what you were saying. How can we solidify in your mind that we don't think like you, nor do we believe you? Hey, Lurker.
With it. They didn't want him anymore. I don't know how we can solidify that in people's head. They have been trying since October of 2022 to rehome this child like a freaking dog.
Seth, you were trying to rehome your child like a freaking dog? Oh my God. Can you believe that Seth Rogers, Daddy of the Year, would participate in the rehoming of his child like a dog? Because make no mistake about it, Seth Rogers was included in those conversations. Seth Rogers was also looking up behavioral homes to send Sebastian. Now, here's the other thing. For somebody who's never even had children, let alone children with autism or any other behavioral difficulties, to try to shame, there are these facilities because they are necessary, right? These type of facilities are very common, especially in autistic children. As they get older, they get stronger, the parents become less capable of handling. But Betty over there feels that that is the same as rehoming a dog. Right? I mean, that's the way she thinks. Seth was trying to do that too, Betty. That's what I'm saying. So everything she says, like, oh, well, Chris took Sebastian's underwear and gave it to Seth. And what, Seth just like didn't stand up for his son? He didn't say, like, well, wait a minute, why am I getting his underwear? You're making my son wear diapers? Who the fuck do you think you are? No. He went along with it. Oh, please. Eileen, she looks like Eileen Warnos. Like, look, this is why this woman, I'm glad she's stupid enough, like the rest of the plaintiffs, to keep talking, because this type of video with that type of look in her face, that type of like disdain towards a family she doesn't know, is exactly what the jury's going to read. They're not going to read that this woman was championed for a child she never met to the point where she got him tattooed on her body. No, they're going to see her as the ludicrous woman we all see her as, the lunatic that she is. That is how the world, majority of the world, views Betty. The only people that support Betty either hate the same people as Betty, believe the Proudfoots are guilty, but outside of that, people don't like Betty for Betty. This woman wants to talk all analytics and all these things. Look how many viewers she gets for her sub count. She is bottom of the barrel, and everybody outside of the emotionally manipulated can see it for what it is. It is so, I mean, just look at her face. Sick.
Like a freaking dog.
Like a freaking dog.
And I gotta tell you, if anything happened to my dog, if you guys haven't seen her in a while, come here, Delight.
Pull her out from underneath the blankets with you, you weird shit.
Yeah, everybody wants to see you. Come here. Oh, I'm awake.
If that's how you talk to your dog, I'm sure your dog will be running away soon too. It's weird.
You up, but you've been up already.
Oh, she don't want to come out. Oh, where is she? Oh, Betty's digging. Find her.
What happened to this little boo-boo right here?
Poor baby. Poor baby. Oh, she's screaming help. I'm sorry, Delilah. Sorry, Delilah. We can't help you. Fact checked, right? Everything she runs off of is fucking rumors and gossip and speculation to the highest degree. She loves salacious fucking information to try to demonize everybody and make herself look like she's normal. Hey, baby. She once lied again, saying the Proudfoot side threatened the judge. Right. Say it enough, they may believe it. Well, you know why, Red? You know why? Because the truth of the matter is, that's how gullible and stupid they are. They fell for the propaganda, the rhetoric of a parolee and his weird best friend. Okay? They were told the same thing so much that they believe it. To this day, Betty still believes that we are in a federal court. Because they told her it would be federal, right? So she's that dumb. She believes everything she's told, and so long as you repeat it. As long as Seth didn't have to deal with the difficult behaviors of his child, he was okay. Right. That's what I mean. They approached, don't forget, Seth admitted that they approached him and said that, we need your help. And Seth's response was, I'll give him a year to get his shit together at school. Now, what was happening at school? I don't know. For whatever reason, at the age of 15, turning into 16, Sebastian was going to be taken from in-building learning to online learning. So there's something there they're not telling us. But what I did find interesting is to find out that Justin, you shady, shady son of a gun, that you had the CPS documents. Is that why you stopped pushing there's 5 on Chris and Katie? Did you actually see the real CPS documents or the ones that Seth himself admittedly typed up? I'm curious. It's a really good question to ask. But he is afraid. He then turns to Chris when he is in a bind. Right. Chris is his daddy. And that's all I've been saying, because the fact of the matter is we don't know these people, right? I don't care if you speak to Chris and Katie every day. You're a YouTuber. They know that. You do not know them. And I don't care if you speak to Seth every day, vice versa. You don't know him. We don't know what they said and did when it came to Sebastian. We don't know what their life was like. We don't know what Sebastian's life was like. We don't know the difficulties they were having. We don't know anything. What we do know is all three parents were seeking a solution to an obvious, difficult issue. Did Sebastian overhear that and run away? Or did they act quickly to get rid of the problem that they couldn't afford to face? I don't know. I'm waiting on the law enforcement to solve that. They have a lot more resources than we do. But the idea that these people run around thinking the man who saw him 4 days a week was father of the year. It just blows my mind. Not only that, but he admitted that when he would have Sebastian, there were times he was left alone for 12 to 16 hours. He admitted he didn't give him his medication. Seth Rogers wasn't trying to make life easier for Sebastian. He was trying to make life more difficult for Katie, is my opinion. He should get in trouble. He should. Justin is a manipulator and does it behind the scenes, right? And now it's all come out, hasn't it? I believe that too, Mary. I think not only did he see those documents, but I believe he saw Seth Rogers and all of Seth Rogers' true bigoted glory. He's a misogynistic weirdo. But you know who else is weirdos? Birds of a feather. Am I right? Birds of a feather will always flock together. They will always find their tribe. 4 days a month. And he admitted that he wanted to get Sebastian until he was done work on Friday. And then he'd have to return on early Sunday so he could get ready for school the next day. In all actuality, Seth did not spend much time with Sebastian, if any at all, especially of quality time. His biggest flex was that they had matching recliners. Woo! I mean, this is the man who said that his son didn't know how to ride a bike. And when a video came out of Chris Proudfoot cheering Sebastian on for riding a bike, he then said it was AI. Because that man rather put down Chris and Katie than relish in the video of his child, his missing child. I really wish people would stop focusing on BJ for a week and look into the shady shit Justin is doing. Cranky, I'm with you, but BJ's easy content. That's it. It's easy. It's lazy. You replay her. The fucking content sells itself. She's a pathological liar. It's easy. So people aren't going to stop. But I get it. Now that YouTube gave us a 3-time, I think on a computer, 4-time. Let me see. Is it 3-time on a computer speed up, 4-time on a phone? Let me practice that. Oh no, the computer's still only 2. A lot is cooking for old Justin. A lot is cooking for the whole little Wizard of Oz crew. And let's get into it. My attorney has a message. First, I saw somebody say, butter is the best at these Cabbage Pal kids. Cabbage. So check out mine. I think it's fabulous. Very fitting. I didn't use the real image because they would cry. But I do have one with the real image. Maybe we'll sell playing cards next. Who knows? Just kidding. Just kidding. All right. So let's pull this up. Now, I won't read all of it because some of it does give Brittany advice that I don't think she deserves. Was a lazy father that wanted Sebastian when he wanted a gaming buddy or occasional fishing trip. That's a good point. Right, Feisty 9. We're not allowed to talk about it, though. Hey, Woodstock. It'll all come out. It will all come out. I still have some from, like, I think it was the 90s. Yeah. All right, so. Dear counsels. Just kidding. I will not be showing it on the screen because, again, I'm not going to give Brittany the advice. Most Wanted Missing Person episode comes on tonight for Sebastian. I did. Beautiful disaster. Thank you for reminding us. Hey, TK with the 278. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up. Good morning, J Fox. SEK agrees with Feisty. I know. They want us to all ignore. Ignore, ignore, ignore. Should we read this to them or should we wait a little bit? What do you guys think? So some of you may not have seen it, but I actually went to a festival the other day, an art festival. Hey, Savannah. I never see you anymore. You dished me for the crazies. Hey, Betty. Good morning. So, I know, AT, me too. That's right, girl next door. You better yell at them. But I went to an art festival, and I literally said, I have a feeling. Oh, let me upload a picture of that. I have a feeling that they're here. Like I can feel it. Lee the Bee, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I could feel in my soul that these people were there. I don't know if it was like a instinct or if I could literally just smell them in all their greasy glory, but I could feel it. And then sure enough, there he was. And he was with his family and I was with mine. So I didn't say anything as others felt I should have. I have to take a different picture of the hammerhead because I put that one on a package and I don't feel like redacting the information. But as I saw him, I said, "Oh my God, there he is." And he's as goofy as ever, but he was with his family. And he saw me and he saw my phone, he saw my camera. There's no doubt about it. Um, yeah, I'm stalking him, right? And I was uncomfortable with him being in the same facility as me, so I pulled out my phone. I feel like this guy is corrupt enough, in my opinion, from what I've experienced with him, that I don't trust being in the same facility as him. Um, if people think that's me stalking him, then so be it. I have a right when out in public to take photos. I have a right to protect myself, and that's what I did. I was made sure that I knew where this guy was. I think he is a horrific person. Hey, Wah. I do too, Joe Madre. He is dangerous and he will be held accountable. And that's what we're going to hear in this email. So give me just a second. Holy shit, 40 months. Wow, Wah. Still standing and supporting. Oh my goodness. I would take a picture and protect me too. Smart move, right? Because here's the thing, Pesty Patty, right? I don't care if nobody else has endured what I have endured with these people being so close to me. But I knew that if he saw me there, then he knew that my car or one of my family members' cars or whatever maybe, I didn't know what was going to happen. Okay. I don't know if any day now I'm going to jump in my car, be pulled over, and you don't know. So, I protected myself. Now I could have screamed. I could have made the whole area aware, of what he's done, but I didn't. I simply snapped a photo in a public area. Maybe I liked the flowers he was holding. Call that stalking. Huh, it's cute. It is. It's beyond stressful. Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you. They should be thankful I put that on members only and then blast the video everywhere. Because I could. I could. Hey, true crime and celebrity news. I very much could. Again, public area and all. We were next to each other, literally next to each other. Absolutely, I am. I don't think for 1 minute, if tables were turned, that they wouldn't do the same. Yeah, feisty. It's not a fun feeling, that's for sure. So anyway, this is the letter. Hey, Eric, Marshall Dove. I'll wait till everybody comes in. You mean before Chris and Katie held his hands to get on to Tennessee so he could be an active father in his child's life? Oh, Animal Rescue Liplock, you're so sweet. Hey, Charms. So do I, Pesty Patty, which is why I know I was well within my legal rights. They're sleeping on us, girl next door. They're sleeping on us. Um, no. No, and I'll tell you why. Because I do believe that he was just there with his family. And when hold on. Give me just a second. When I pulled out and obviously was recording because he wasn't far from my vicinity. um his children, and bless their hearts, they're, that's why I wouldn't ever upload it, because I would never ever put his children's face out there. It's nobody's business what his kids look like. But the one was trying to get him to come over to look at something, and I was standing right there, and he was kind of hesitant, but he did come over. But whatever, he definitely made eye contact with me. I am convinced he knows that I am me. And I'm convinced if anybody else was in my shoes, where they had what they deemed to be a corrupt attorney in the same vicinity as them, they would feel the same way. What Joseph Lasniak did was malicious prosecution. He aided and abetted criminals to file maliciously. Don't make no mistake, that's exactly what he did. Without Joseph Lasniak's signature, without his license, they wouldn't be able to file these type of frivolous litigations against people, and which Nick himself admitted most people would settle. They're used to using litigation via Joseph Lasniak to get people to do what they want them to do, which is aiding and abetting. Joseph Lasniak and Bruce Castor will and should be held accountable for aiding and abetting. Um, if it wasn't for his sweet kids, I probably wouldn't have held back nonsense. But yeah, I feel like he recognized me. It was blackmail. It was threatening. It was blackmail. It was harassment. It was everything but the right thing. Easterns. And again, without Lasniak, they wouldn't be able to do that. So this guy, in my opinion, is the key holder. He's just a flying monkey. Don't get it wrong. But he's the flying monkey that they need. Yeah, is that amazing, Pesty Patty? I have more respect for people's kids than they do mine. And I have all the faith in the world that one day they will wake up and see reality. Which breaks my heart, to be honest. Breaks my heart. But he does seem like a very good father. I'll give him that. He seemed very, it was nice to see a father out with his children and engaging in what they found interesting and whatever. And, I'm sure Joseph Lasniak has good parts of him, but I have zero respect for somebody that would try to destroy my life because his little buddy, old pal over there, told him to. He knows that what he was doing was against the bar, was against ethics, and he did it anyhow. Either because he's in the delusional land that they're all in, or because he's a total piece of shit. I don't know which. I'll let the judge and the bar decide. But yes, so I absolutely took a picture of the man out in the wild. Call that stalking, call it what you will. You also say that an attorney doing his job is harassment, so fuck off. An actual attorney. Again, I could have put that shit on public. I could use it as my thumbnail. I could do whatever I want. Public photo in a public place. It is disturbing. It was very disturbing. It was very disturbing to see this guy in my neighborhood, his neighborhood, knowing what he's part of. I think he's corrupt. And I'm not the only one that thinks he's corrupt. So let's get into this letter. Dear counsels, yes, Attorney Castor, you are addressed at the end of this communique. Lawsuit chat, skeleton complaints being sent out. These people do not know how deep they are in. Really? To the contrary, you and your clients are both in deep. Did you think we did not know who was drafting these documents? Give me just 1 second. Sorry about that. Did you think we did not know who was drafting these documents? Did you think we thought that ease just happened upon this information after it was filed and were not involved prior with these machinations? Think again. We know you only communicate with certain clients, if at all. You should inform your supposed client, Brittany Nicole Jackson, her claims are dismissed with prejudice. This means she does not get to come to court and spew her drivel. In that regard, did you advise Miss Jackson she was part of the complete lawsuit? You never reviewed the claims you brought. At this point, you should advise Miss Jackson that when the court awards monies, it will be jointly and severally as of the opinion on April 17th, 2025 noted. This means we can go after Miss Jackson for the complete amount. Be advised immediately after the award, we will move to have said award reduced to judgment. Thereafter, we will transfer the judgment to the state and county of Miss Jackson's residence along with the other defendants. For the YouTube legal eagles that advise Miss Jackson this will act as a lien on her property. Next, she will be served with discovery and aid of execution, which is already completed, consisted of 55 pages. When her YouTube baristas give her advice to avoid post-judgment discovery, because we know you have no knowledge in this regard, we will seek monetary sanctions to add to the judgment. I'm sure those YouTube legal scholars will inform Miss Jackson this cannot be done. To the contrary, refresh them on the full faith and credit clause. Yes, we can also take depositions in aid of execution. And some of this I won't read. Hey, J Dub. Oh, I've missed you guys too. Thank you. Next, Miss Jackson should obviously seek her own legal counsel. Independent legal counsel will certainly seek a settlement after reading an opinion of the court in an attempt to mitigate the burden of her loss. You should be slapped with a malpractice action. I'm paraphrasing here because malpractice not for filing baseless, frivolous filings, despite being schooled there too. The aforementioned is appropriate for punitive damages and sanctions. Malpractice, however, for not knowing the claimed statements made by my client were never defamation, even if stated. Malpractice for not knowing and not informing your client on how the definition of being a limited public figure could impact her claims. Most importantly, malpractice for not knowing and not explaining to your client that even if the statements in her declaration were defamation, which they were not, they could not be brought due to the expiration of the statute of limitations. Finally, malpractice for not knowing the definition of enterprise and predicate acts under RICO. On another note, you should brush up on malicious prosecution, that is a Dragon Eddy action in this Commonwealth. Do not think you and good old intimidation counsel, aka Bruce Castor, will not be part of such an action, at minimum, as aiders and abettors, if deemed appropriate. It's not over yet. She's so stupid. Make no mistake, they are aiders and abettors in Nick's weaponizing of the court system. Again, without their license, without their names, he would not be able to file the malicious litigation that he does. Oh, you're fine, Eastern girls. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, Lori Jean. They should be in trouble. They will be in trouble. I'm sure the bar will reprimand them. I wouldn't be surprised if the judge puts sanctions on them. She noted in her opinion that Lasniak admitted that Bruce Castor gave permission for his name to be used. To be used in what format? For intimidation? There's no other reason to use an attorney's name who's not part of a filing. You're not allowed to do that. I mean, these people have morals they're supposed to uphold. Good morning, Snippins. These people telling Brittany to claim bankruptcy and do this and do that to avoid the consequences of what you signed into, of which even we over here who strongly dislike you warned you this would be the end result. And you all went on and on and on about all your legal knowledge. And you swore up and down that you all were going to win and this was real and blah, blah, blah. I don't think you deserve a second of legal advice from my attorney at all. But you do deserve the dose of reality that is certain to be served upon you. Well, and that's the part of punitive damages, right? Because despite the judge saying that this is dismissed with prejudice, you still have Tony Mathis and Brittany Jackson threatening legal action against me. The point of punitive damages is to teach these people that their type of frivolous lawsuits will not be accepted. They are not acceptable. That's a problem. I think he learned it the moment he realized we had an anti-slap hearing coming up, and he ran and tried to get Nick and Hung to catch him up on everything they've done. OG Fish. That's more like what I think happened. So finding out that the E's and Justin and all these people were involved in this behind the scenes, that they were helping them prepare. Brittany's dumbass once again shows her private chats. One's called Green Team Packet. Right? Am I right on that? And what was the other one? Lawsuit chat. You almost want to take pity on how grossly ill-informed she is. But at the same time, it's like, no, because she knows better. She listens to everything we say and do. There's no way she didn't know what this end result would be. Can you send me that, Pretty in Pink? I would love to hear that again. So here's one of Brittany's chat. Lawsuit chat. Here's Yvette Rangel Fushi. This is the first time QB mentioned it. January 14th notes. And in that chat is Yvette uploaded things from Queen, who was not involved in litigation. Here, let me just send this to myself. We can all look together. Hold on. Maybe she just discovered, Red, that it is not federal. I don't know. Well, that's the other thing Lasniak said during here, and like, they didn't think I was a real lawyer. Now we question more than ever if you're a real lawyer, but whatever. I assure you I'm real, Your Honor. Ask my mother. She's had to deal with me for 47 years. Like, that was this guy's defense at a court hearing. Like, that's the way this quote unquote lawyer spoke. It was weird. It was juvenile. You can ask my mother. She's dealt with me for 47 years. It was bizarre. We question if your Twitter account was real. Because ironically, the moment we exposed emails pertaining to Bruce Castor, his ex account went down. I don't give a fuck. One shot. I wouldn't give a fuck if, first off, Angela's not talented enough to splice together several clips. She'll take things out of context and put them together to create a context. I've witnessed that firsthand. But it doesn't matter any which way you pull that video and you look at it. Yvette said those things. You can tell it's not AI generated. You can tell it's not spliced together. Angela doesn't have the skills of that. The only skill Angela has is seeking out shit from group chats and trying to destroy people. She doesn't have the skills to do all of that splicing and dicing. No doubt. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Yvette said those things. Plus, if you want to, no, I'm not even going to go that far. That's what I'm saying. Nobody believes if it's Caster behind that account. The minute he gets exposed, that his account disappears. So Jennifer, good morning. Blessed be the fruit. Amen to that. And the reason it disappears because he knew his reputation was about to take a hit. See, it was all fun and games when he wanted to do it at Sebastian's expense. It's a natural flow, right? I mean, this is the same woman who literally snores on stream and then says she wasn't sleeping. This is the same woman whose partner literally says those damn rats, and she tells us all, no, you heard cats. It's the same woman who fell asleep, and when she did, she didn't end her stream, so she lied that there was a really bad storm and a tree fell. The trees are always falling around her. And this woman is the biggest gaslighter. Let me go ahead and, excuse me, make sure I hear this correctly. Let's play this again. Let's just all listen.
Got it. We are not anti-Muslim, whatever, but then says he has his beliefs.
Yeah,
Right?
and he's entitled to that.
Little rats, they clawed out of that fucking basket. Rats, they clawed. Rats, they
Yeah.
little rats, they clawed.
Put a 2 in the chat if you heard those little rats. Put a 2. Who heard rats? Or was that spliced together too? The only thing that was spliced together was your ridiculous complaint you tried to file in Pennsylvania. That's the only thing that was spliced together. The amount of misrepresentation, the amount of misquotes, the amount of false time clips or statements with time stamps and all of that. That's the only thing that was spliced. We all heard rat. Okay. I'm just making sure, because what would be better if it wasn't rats and they were keeping cats in a basket to the point that they're clawing out? I mean, do you really think that makes you sound better? Then she collects money for her youngest birthday. Then her husband background, thank you for the beer. You know, you would have been better off, Brittany, because you're so reactive and you're such a pathological liar. You would have been better off admitting that you had rats. Everybody saw your property. It's not hard to see that you live on land. It's not abnormal to have rats in a garage. If you were smart enough and you thought before you spoke, instead of being a pathological fucking liar, you should have said, yeah, we have rats in the garage, or yeah, we had rats out back, and Craig put up a bucket, try to catch them, but they clawed their way out. You could have said anything. Instead, you want to gaslight an entire audience that we didn't hear what we heard. Just like we didn't hear you snoring. Just like we didn't see you face plant into a fucking mic. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. You just have the hardest time being an honest person. So gross. Let's hear it again, though. Just like he didn't say the F word, right, AT? That wasn't him. Granny lied. Granny got me taken down. Just like you didn't tell people you were swatted. I mean, my God.
Entitled to that.
Little rats, they clawed out of that fucking basket.
Why'd you hurry up and mute if it wasn't said? Try to say they were dropped off by a neighbor. Oh, bullshit. You've been having kittens for years. What neighbor? What neighbor? She's whatever. Let her live in her fantasy world, man. I am so over it. So over it. If anybody would like to come up, just please wipe your feet at the door and don't bring your rats with you. She annoyed. Well, I've said the same thing, Colleen, right? She cries that lady, takes her content, but she doesn't strike. She claims that people talk about her, but she talks back. I don't believe she would pay money to get the cats. No, this has been going on for years. Well, that's what I'm saying, Cocktail Dress. If we're to believe, I think that's more horrific. You're keeping cats in a basket to the point that they're clawing out. Put a 3 if anybody else agrees. That's a little more horrific than just saying, yeah, we got rats. I mean, we've all seen the... lots of threes. I mean, what's worse, kicking cats and continuously allowing them to have kittens, and then, putting cats in baskets to claw their way out? I think it's worse. I think you sound stupid. You sound stupid saying that. Just like you were dumb enough you so badly wanted to be a victim, you claimed your own docs, which was quite ironic because I thought I showed that photo already. Isn't that why you threw me in litigation? Well, that was one of your reasons, right? I mean, it wasn't the actual reason. It's just one you came up with after you doxed me and my family. Lots of threes. I'm glad a lot of you find that to be inhumane. Hello, Winnie. She's had 8 litters in the last 3-4 years we've known of her. Seriously. Why didn't those security cameras her subs paid for months ago catch someone walk up to her house and put kittens under her house? Is that what she claimed? What person, what human is going to collect kittens, put them in a box, and then go drop them off under somebody else's porch? I mean, again, the story doesn't even make fucking sense. Just admit it. You don't care about your cats that you allow to run rampant outside, which you should bring them inside. So they keep having kittens because cats produce more kittens than any other animal. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Right, Mo. And then justified it that cat, I mean, come on. Oh my gosh, I can't even speak about her without getting angry. I'm sorry, I can't. She has more lies than anything. Oh, we should have one everywhere, Niecy B. Solo, good morning. Except nice. I hate mice and rats. I would die. Hey, Sherry. She couldn't. It's a shame for her because she'd be a lot more relatable if she wasn't such a liar. Like it's just, and then the fact that the chat goes along with it. Like the tree that fell down, but there was never a storm, but she claimed there was a storm. The wire ghost, the mite that catches wings. I mean, the mouse that catches wings all the time. The constant snoring. Oh no, that was asthma. That wasn't asthma. That was like a damn demon trying to escape. The fact that for years she says she has cellulitis and now she's saying it's edema or something. I mean, come on. But they don't fall for it, Lady V. Here's the thing. The chat knows she's lying. Don't think for 1 minute that chat isn't aware she's lying. And in due time, one by one, they wake up and they leave. Brittany just lost another group of mods. Some mascara lady, misinformation Erica. They see it and they leave. The other woman email, what is that? The lady that I'll be honest, I think that's a troll. Well, I don't necessarily think that he wouldn't be cheating. I don't believe that an actual other woman emailed her. If anything, she probably emailed herself to get sympathy, or somebody trolled her and sent her that email. I don't believe it. Oh, look at AT. Proof was shown that at least in September, so just a short few months ago, her cats were not fixed because another cat was supposedly dropped off at her house, but her cat was nursing it. If the cat was fixed, she couldn't do that. Right, Tessa. She could do something about it. This woman doesn't do anything that benefit herself or anybody else. You think she gives a shit about the cats? You think she emailed herself? I'm curious. All right, that's a good question. If you think that BJ emailed herself, not just, as the other woman, but in other instances too, put a 1. If you think it was a troll trolling her, put a 2. If you think it was an actual other woman, put a 3. Somebody does. Ah, let me guess. Did she say they're trying to? I haven't followed anything all weekend. Besides, speaking with my mods here and there. So did she try saying like this emailer that is because of YouTubers and they're trying to ruin a happy home, or what was Why would she even like read that? Why bring that out? This is what I mean about she chooses to be a victim. She chooses to engage. You know how many weird emails I get? I get the weirdest emails. I get threatening emails. I get emails about my family, my children. I get all types of emails. I don't read them all out. Hey, sweet Lulu. You know why? Because once you tell them it bothered you by acknowledging it, you then turn around and they do it more. That's exactly what she said. Damn, Alyssa. It's almost like I've dealt with this bitch for years now. Can predict the next move. Wow. Amazing. Hasn't she blamed Granny for it yet? She better not. She better fucking not. She said they're trying to break up a relationship and harassing her. Oh my God. Listen, no, like jokes aside, I know some of you guys find it to be funny. I don't. If you are a member of my channel, if you are even a supporter of my channel and have any care for what I say, please don't do that shit. Please don't do it. She unblocks everybody every so often so she can get a comment that she can play victim off of. She lives for this shit. Please don't help her. Don't help her create it. It's not worth it. If kids had been dumb, she would have to bottle feed them. Her cat wouldn't be able to nurse them unless she had a litter herself. They can't just produce milk. They're constantly having litters. Crying that everyone's attacking her while she's live with guest trash people for hours. That's the part that I can't stand, Kimberly. It's all fun and game when they're up there saying, nonsense, his husband's a predator, or Cletus is one, or, trashing Jay for a hairstyle. And it makes me sick. People, whatever, I'm not going to acknowledge that again. Whatever you need to tell yourself, Brittany, to make yourself the victim, go ahead and do it, sweetheart. Go ahead and do it. Because I'll tell you the same thing I've told you a year ago, a year prior to that, and a year prior to that. You can go ahead and convince your audience whatever you want, but in due time, they all wake up and they say it. And as much as you can manipulate your audience, you cannot manipulate the masses, and you certainly cannot manipulate the judge, as proven when the judge acknowledged you. Okay, that's it. Now, you sat up there in the summer of 2023, and you were on top of the world in the drama, little shit drama community, going at me sun up and sundown, to the point where you would miss your own true crime streams to stay on panel where the most horrific shit was being said about me and mines. Okay? As you yourself say, karma comes. This is your karma, baby. Eat it up. When my karma came, I faced it, right? I accepted it. I said, this is my karma. What Angela's doing to me is my karma. I seen her do it to others, and I'm not shocked it's my time. Even with that, even knowing this is Angela's history, you're still a victim of it. Even knowing the way Loon is, you're a victim of it. When Kim turns on you, you'll be a victim of it. Just like when TT turned on you again, you were a victim of it. You will never accept that you are the reason you are where you're at. And if you don't want to be where you're at, it's really fucking simple. Stop. Oh, she makes me sick. Oh, she makes me sick. Can you imagine what a miserable way to live, though? Like, seriously? Karma is not that. Karma does not mean that most people think that. No, karma is what you give, what you get what you give out here. And Brittany has given enough to deserve what she is getting. Do I necessarily like it? No. Not because I feel bad for her. I've been in her shoes. It does suck. But here's the fact. Brittany has three larger creators going at her. But she also had no problem accusing those three larger creators of being part of a criminal enterprise, where they sat over there and they giggled at the idea that people could go to jail for it. Okay? If these people are angry about that, they have every right to be. Oh, God, goody. Ew. I'd rather have two less chatters. I'll be damned. Talks about karma, but she doesn't realize karma is kicking her ass big time. She won't ever realize anything. She has no accountability. Exactly, Cash. Seth blocked me months ago. Seth is. Let's get back to Seth because I really don't care to talk about Brittany. She fucking lives for it. The fact that Seth was over there looking in to Julie's chat, she did, Everett. Yes, thank you for asking. We're the same age, I think. Here's the thing, Feisty Nana. Why wouldn't Brittany just put up the proof then, right? Why wouldn't Brittany show how things were sliced and diced? Oh, well, I'm not 37. Why wouldn't Brittany show the truth of like, okay, here's what I said, but here's what Angela didn't show. I did that plenty of times. There's so many times I showed the full context. Why won't Brittany? Probably because there's nothing missing. She herself said by the time she responds to one thing, or by the time she covers one controversy, another's happening. She lives for it, man. I do believe she called Nick and asked to put you on the lawsuit too. I have enough proof of that, and it will be presented to the judge during a hearing for punitive damages if we are given one. She called herself a 37-year-old little girl. Are you serious? Oh. Anyway, let's take a trip back in time. Anybody else remember the day Seth Rogers hired his cronies? Betty does the same thing. That's like when the E's were saying, well, just because people say there's been death threats, we shouldn't just take their word for it because I've never seen proof. And then Betty comes in and says, I got proof. I've reported 2 death threats. And they're like, well, there it is. Yep. Betty's been threatened. Shouldn't show the proof. They contradict themselves. It would be comical if it wasn't impacting people's real lives. And I think that's the part that these people are missing. It's impacted Sebastian's life, and I'll tell you why. Because nobody's going live solely about Sebastian anymore. And if they are, it's people like Betty who are doing so with so much misinformation that is actually harmful to his case. They've obviously impacted my life in more ways than I'm going to spill right now because I could go on for hours. They've impacted Barbecues Live. They've impacted chatters who were afraid to give their opinions in a chat, who were intimidated by the idea that their IP addresses would be hunted down. And then Brittany started saying, mods, grab that link, because she thought the same thing. So she had no problem at the idea that a regular chatter's IP address would be traced because they don't share the same opinion on a case that she does. You had other creators that were named in that, accusing them of RICO. But you're the victim. Bless it. Bless it. Bless it. I know, Pointer Lover. That's why my attorney wrote in his email. We know you only communicate with certain clients, if at all. You should inform your supposed client, Brittany Nicole Jackson, her claims are dismissed with prejudice. This means she does not get to come to court and spew her drivel. Although, how would she even speak to the judge? You're going to come to PA? Last night she said they won their RICO. No, she didn't. I refuse to believe that. She did not say that. They won their RICO. If anything, and I think many would agree with me, as the days go on, we are seeing more and more of who the real RICO is. I don't give a fuck what Brittany says. I stalked Lasniak at a public event. Fuck off. Do you know how many events I go to with my family? Say I stalked him because I took a photo of him at a public event? Fuck you. You stalked me. You threw my address into a frivolous lawsuit where dozens were incited to believe that I was the reason Sebastian couldn't be found. You sit there and talk about people inciting hate against you. You have no idea what you inciting. You didn't just incite it online. You incited it offline. You incited in people's real lives. This idea that you have never gone real life, you are so fucking ridiculous. We didn't win the RICO. We cleared our names. But every day now, every singular day, there's more and more proof of the RICO of our attorney. So the fuck what, Brittany? Your attorney's a goof troop. You never even spoke to your attorney. Shut up. She's not going to have a chance to speak to the judge. Although I'm sure the judge would love to have a chance to speak to her. Hey, Half Pint. And thank you so much. Who just said that? I apologize. I saw your comment about being in PA. Patriot, thank you. He is a goof troop, man. You've seen him. I'll tell you, I got others, but I didn't share them because I'm nice. But I will share this. Give me just a second. God, it kills me to have to play this, but let me do it. Da, da, da. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Let me pull this up on the screen while I play it. Okay. So we're going to see here that Brittany had a chat leak. It's pretty sick that you all are plotting against people's real lives, trying to destroy them. And a chat called Lawsuit Chat, but the background is, I said I love you. This is what Brittany does. She's gaslighting all of you like she cares, right? Like I said, I love you. Yvette. Yvette. What? Now I know Yvette's full name because it's at the top. Isn't it, Yvette? She doxed you, Yvette. Thank you, Patriot. She doxed you. Not a chat leak. Anyway, it also shows over here, AWBJ's Green Team Packet. What is this, Brittany? Chat history restored now. Are you trying to hide stuff from litigation, Brittany? Now, I know that Mr. King sent you a preservation letter, Brittany. That's what I said, Phoenix. Thank you so much for saying that. Now, I most certainly put that as members only because I didn't want to put the photo public. But I find it quite ironic that they're calling that stalking. But who the fuck's really stalking who? That you're a member to my channel to even report on what I'm doing. I was thinking the same thing. Patriot, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So we got the Green Team Packet. Lawsuit Chat is on the $7 tier. Who are you stalking? Who the fuck are you guys? Who are you guys stalking? Marlo, Sarah, Margaret. Look, listen, all their names are like 70-plus-year-old women who are likely being emotionally manipulated because they care about Sebastian and or they believe this woman is a Christian. Margaret, Marlo. There's some 1960 names. You poor things. You don't even know it. I figure because I don't have a $7 tier. Very interesting there, Brittany, you stalker. Did anybody show my post publicly? So I need to learn the definition of defamation, what it really means. Yeah. Learn that and then learn accountability, self-awareness. It will do you really well. It will get you a lot further than this type of dumb shit on the internet. I'm not saying anything wrong, candidly, but I am saying I've always held utmost respect for older women. I believe that I look up to older women for a lot of guidance. But I do believe that these women are more vulnerable to Britney's bullshit. See, Pessy Patty don't know because I put it as members only. Stalkers. I don't know if it was more infuriating or hilarious hearing BJ say, hang on, let me clip that, because she's saving proof for the judge because she thinks she gets to give a victim statement. She really believes it too. Your Honor, I stand before you not as somebody in litigation, but as a mother. Which is insane for many reasons. Main one being she's not the victim. Her sub's offering to be a character witness. Yvette, Rangel fucker, are you going to be a character witness? You fucking idiots. No, I know, but statistically, the elderly is more likely to become victims of scams. It's no insult. Listen, I know my analytics. I know my audience. Y'all, will y'all be witness statements for me? Can y'all be a witness? Character witness? Your character witness is your live streams. Your character witness is the lies you put on litigation. Your character witness is the fact that you sought to take away my right to free speech out of supposed and alleged fear of me, but never shut the fuck up. You never shut the fuck up. That's your character witness right there, Brittany. Sweet Lulu, welcome back, my friend. Thank you so much. Judge, did you know Granny took pics of my lawyer? He won't even answer my calls, Judge. Do you know taking pics in public is not illegal? They probably don't because they're so stupid. Craig's thoughts about the situation? I don't give a fuck what Craig thinks. You can't use, all right, Pesty, you can't use internet, folks. I mean, all I have to do is, Your Honor, while these people may defend Brittany today, I can guarantee 6 months down the line, they will not. She's lost over 140 quote unquote close friends / moderators. The judge is actually a female. She's very educated. She went to Harvard. I have all the faith in this judge in the world. Hey, spooky wife. All right, anyway. Oh, Daddy's baby girl, I hope your appointment goes well. I hate the dentist. Let me pull this back. Let me get this off my screen. It didn't work. Hold on. I can't believe she said that. We'll be a character witness, Brittany, for your poor victimhood because you lost litigation. Oh, Oz, I appreciate you asking. Usually there's a money sign down by the bottom that allows you to be, but I can also perhaps drop a link that may be a little easier. Does this mean if you become a member that you will be a character witness for me? Oh, I've had people leave. I mean, not leave. I had people be with me for 4+ years, and I still want to be like, I know, I seen that, Rebel Soul. I asked if she would please consider deleting the retweets of the defamation she shared against me now that she has had her eyes open to the manipulation that is Brittany. Because every time misinformation came over into my comment section, I was nothing but respectful to her. Every single time, despite the shit she said and did against me, I always treated her with respect and told her, respectfully, you're dumb. And now she realizes, respectfully, I was right. So hopefully she'll respectfully remove it. Carvey, Barbie, I thought you was already here. Thank you again. And that's what I'm saying, PsyOps. Like, right, a character witness via StreamYard. Are they going to come in under, like, Candy B art? Is that, like, you know what I mean? Like, is your character witness going to be, like, Rebels, like a chatter's name? Jill, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. I appreciate that. She is, Oki. Thank you. All right. How long has Nana been there with her? I don't know. Nana doesn't even know. Apparently, she's always drunk. No, I'm not saying it. Her friend said it. Akira with the 5 gifted as well. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Well, I will say, Patriot, I've had people that are willing to use their government names and be character witnesses, but they've also been here a long time. So I appreciate the offer. The thing is, Brittany doesn't get the chance to present character witnesses because she is the plaintiff. And the plaintiff that lost litigation does not get to go before the judge as a mother and give a speech. It's not the way it works. And it's sad that she doesn't know that. It's sad at 37 years old that she has allegedly consulted with attorneys, claims to be a true crime channel, yet doesn't know that that's not how this works. It's almost humiliating. It's a bit infuriating. I mean, talk about being in for a rude wake up. Have we not told her from the gate, hey, buddy, have we not said from the very beginning how this would end? And she called us liars. She said, we don't know anything. She said, I used ChatGPT instead of actually speaking with my attorney. I mean, come on. Anyway, let's play this dumb shit. Honestly, I hate even offering a view, but whatever.
I'll tell you a little bit about this meeting.
Really quick, because I was going to block it out, but I can't help but realize they say that I Photoshop my photos. That looks nothing like your photo, Yvette. That looks nothing like, I mean, I would have to say your YouTube photo's a little outdated there, Toots. Yeah, I mean, a fucking impact. There's no such thing as, first off, this is civil litigation, right? So there's not even a victim. Respectfully, Serenity, it's not called a victim statement. It's called an impact statement because we're not victims. This isn't criminal, although some could argue it should be, right? Psyops. Your Honor, Booty Eater 69's work. They said I have rats, Your Honor. They said I have rats. I know, she's so jealous. Screenshot this. There was one time when I made a video. I never make videos. You guys know that. I made a video and there was it offered filters and I used it one fucking time. Big whoop-de-doo. All the other, I've been camming up for years. Never used a fucking filter. Even with a filter, without a filter, it doesn't matter. But anyway, it's called an impact statement because we're not in a criminal case. You also do not receive character witness statements in a civil filing because, again, it's not a criminal case. Now, I don't know what you're used to. I don't know what you're thinking, but you're clearly not going by law. You clearly have no idea to this date what you actually signed in for. Gosh. Let's listen to Yvette's big gossipy mouth. Yvette's the one that likes to have her alleged 13-year-old child, not allegedly, they admitted it, screen record my streams. Talking about keep children out of it. I would never, ever have my son listen to any of these filthy women and say, can you screen record that for me?
It was a little bit weird. So Tony was there. Some guy named Seth. He's like the guy that does like the mechanical. I think he's like the computer specialist who sets up the Discord and all the things.
So that's good to know. I'll show you guys. Give me just a second to do this. But if you guys recall, because the judge said it is not illegal, nor is me taking a picture of Joseph Lasniak out in the wild illegal. But if you all recall, there was an extra person with them at court. And we were all like, who is this guy? Who is this guy and why is he here? And why is he here with these crumb bums? One of which is wearing her fatigues and looks like she is very fatigued and hasn't slept in fucking years. But is this the guy, Seth? In the wild. Joseph Lasniak out in the wild. Let me remove Brittany's leaked chat again. Is this the guy that's opening their discords for them and stuff? You know, this private intelligence group that they are? Right here. Right here. Is this Seth? Notice they're all on their phones. Look at the darkness. It's a shame, man. Nick, I feel like Nick is the only one who had potential. I really do. Juggling hypocrisy from his lawsuits and cherry-picked Bible verses. Gee golly. Really, Terry Lynn? I'm interested. Shoot me an email. I hope EJ doesn't have to go to court because she'll go to the federal courthouse. Can you imagine? Her Betty or saying that's a good one. That's a good one. Your Honor, the judge would be like, I thought all plaintiffs were to be here. Your Honor, they said they're here in Pennsylvania, but we don't know where they're at. They're in fucking Harrisburg, sitting at the Superior Court. You stop it, because I gotta go to the bathroom now. That was good. Oh my gosh, let me fix this so I can play y'all a video while I go. Woo! That was a good one. I can see it too. I can see it. Betty's sitting over in federal court. All right. Let's get it together, folks. Hold on. Oh, child. Oh, I did not miss that intro.
I'll tell you a little bit about this meeting. It was a little bit weird. So Tony was there. Some guy named Seth. He's like the guy that does like the mechanical. I think he's like the computer specialist who sets up the Discord and all the things. Nick was there. Brittany, me, and like maybe one other person that I don't know. I just can't remember. But it was weird because somehow Mr. and Mrs. E got the link and they entered the room. They made them leave, which was weird. Okay. It was weird because that's how top secret it was. There was a big concern. There was some sort of possible leak. Okay. They're really worried about this lawsuit getting out before they can file it they're aiming for Tuesday afternoon. They're very worried about Justin. And then when I popped into the chat after the meeting's over and you guys are all talking about Justin and is he not supposed to talk about this? It worries me because I'm like, what's going on? Well, Tony like completely.
Listen to these little gossiping bitches. It is. And all I hear is a drama-loving freakazoid who likely doesn't exist in the real world like the majority of us, but like the majority of them over there who live virtually, gossiping and being overly involved in seeking revenge against people who don't believe that Seth Rogers is innocent, as opposed to putting their very lacking brains together for the benefit of Sebastian. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, put this in perspective. This is pathetic. You're pathetic for this.
For Tuesday afternoon. They're very worried about Justin. And then when I popped into the chat after the meeting's over and you guys are all talking about Justin and is he not supposed to talk about this? It worries me because I'm like, what's going on? Well, Tony like completely vouches for Justin. He says there's no way Justin's going to leak this. That
Tony would vouch for Justin. He's the salt of the earth because Tony is Justin. Some intelligence agency, right? They can't even figure out how this guy got a link. I mean, ugh.
But he's not even in Nick's server.
Not only that, but what type of intelligence agency trusts these busybody non-housewives? Seriously, this is the basket you held your eggs. You didn't realize it was full of rats looking to claw out. By the way, you still got a mole. You still got a mole.
That's how he's not in there. He's not one of the people in the bubble.
That's how he's not in there. He's not one of the people in the bubble. Shut up, Yvette. You sound weird.
But he's not even in Nick's server. That's how he's not
Oh my God.
in there.
Not even
He's
Nick's
not
server.
one of the people in the bubble.
Now we know if necessary, we can subpoena for Nick's server. Thank you, Yvette, you big mouth.
I guess there's a mod named Guidance. I've seen her. And she came into Brittany's chat a few days ago, the day that Taco was supposedly on someone's panel talking about the FBI or someone knocking on his door. Okay.
Supposedly talking about, so you didn't buy it either. Yeah, she's like an old gossiping Yenta, like, and this group chat, not Discord, and here and there. This is the woman who called the courts and pretended to be Brittany because she's too much of a coward. Yeah, the rats trusted the rat. Isn't that hysterical?
And
And
wait, what was I saying? So Taco. Okay, so Guidance came into Brittany's chat and she says, Brittany, it's okay. Something. I'm on Nick's team. Just move on or something. Well, that's the person they're concerned with is Guidance. She's a mod for Justin, a mod for Betty, but yeah, so I got an incoming call, so my message stopped. I'm sorry. So yeah, Guidance, a mod for Justin and a mod for Betty. She came into Brittany's chat and she said, I'm on Nick's team. And so Brittany thought she was on Nick's team, but she's not. She's not in the bubble.
Oh, you intelligent motherfuckers. Anybody can type right now, I'm on Hong's team. And Brittany's like, oh, you are? But Yvette's like, but they're not in the bubble. What's your safety bubble? You weirdos. You weirdos. She wasn't. She wasn't on Nick's team. She wasn't in the bubble. Turns out BJ wasn't in the bubble either. Need we play that next? Brittany's voice clips from January, which actually go along with messages that I've seen. Not the bubble, right, Stassi? Stay away from my bubble. This is my safety bubble. All right, anybody else remember Brittany's screenshots that were revealed where she makes the remark that apparently I'm the only one here. Here it is. I'm going to show you guys something because it just dawned on me the other day. But I'll play this in the meantime because we're about to burst that bubble, Yvette.
So she doesn't have access to Discord. She never has. She's never been vetted. And so now I think they're going to try to get a hold of her.
Yvette says she's never been vetted. She's never been vetted. None of you have been vetted. None of you vetted your own people. Oh my gosh, let me stop. All right, go ahead, Yvette. Tell us more. Tell us more. Tell us more. Like how you're a drama whore.
Her to sign an NDA because she's never been vetted. And so now I think they're going to try to get a hold of her to sign an NDA. Never has. She's never been vetted. And so now I think they're going to try to get a hold of her to sign an NDA.
Y'all better sign those NDAs, you idiots. So much just giving BJ a chance to say it was edited. That's Angela Schnick. That's what she does. Brittany knew that before trusting her. They're over here talking about people not being vetted, signing NDAs, but yet they trusted the biggest, message releaser there ever was. Okay, geniuses.
Because they need this to not get leaked before they file it. And they're worried about Justin. Well,
hold on. Because this is the first time I fully listened to this. So wait a minute. You guys tell me if I'm hearing what I'm hearing. So you mean to tell me that a bunch of YouTubers, channel holders, all knew about this litigation prior to it being filed? Not just prior to me being served, but prior to it being filed? Oh, Yvette, did you break your NDA, you busybody? Give me 1 second. Oh, never mind.
She's never been vetted. And so now I think they're going to try to get a hold of her to sign an NDA because they need this to not get leaked before they file it.
Ew.
And they're worried about Justin. Well, Nick's worried about Justin, but Tony vouched for him with everything he had. They kind of got in a little fight. It was a little awkward to sit there because I don't know. I was just like, ooh. So Tony is like,
you weren't just like, ooh, you love that shit, you busybody. So Justin, you were aware? And what, did you all sign NDAs to not be thrown into frivolous litigation? Absolutely did, right? And then what's ironic is that it was Brittany's mod that leaked it. Huh. Go on, Yvette. Tell us more.
Listen, I vouch for Justin 100%. And I know that he wouldn't do anything to, mess this up. And, he says, Brittany, let me ask you, Brittany, how long have you been covering this case? And she's like, since March. And he's like, and do you have Seth's number? And she's like, no. And he's like, see,
See, they wouldn't even give you Seth's number. You signed your name on a dotted line. They wouldn't even give you his number.
there's only a couple people that actually have Seth's phone number, and Justin's one of them.
Wow.
And he also has the CPS papers that have never been given out, one of them. And he also has the CPS papers that have never been given out.
I hope somebody takes that information and reports it, Justin. Justin is in possession of CPS documents pertaining to a missing child that the father signed stating he would never release. And we know that Justin is one of the few who have Seth's phone number, which in my intelligent mind tells me that they were given to him from the father.
Or released, and he's never gone on his channel and released it. So Tony really trusts him. But Nick is very hesitant. And he says, well, if someone came up to him and offered him 50 grand, do you think he'd take it?
Someone came up to him and offered. There's so much I can say.
And Tony's like, well, no, I don't think he would. And Nick's like, I think he would. And I'm like, oh, kind of like,
Who thinks that he would? Put a 1. Who thinks that he wouldn't? Put a 2. Justin has already sold his soul for money. Justin unblurred the image of a deceased teenager. Justin doxed the victim of SA. I mean, the list goes on of the horrific things Justin has done. But you're all questioning if he would give away CPS documents for $50K. Hell yeah, he would. He absolutely would. But you know what? So would Tony Mathis. In my opinion, so would Tony Mathis. Yeah. Remember they said they got a plan. Don't worry. They took away one of our voices, but we got a plan. They were all planning and plotting. And Justin, you're involved in this. What did Justin say his last name was on Nancy Grace again? You son of a bitch. Justin, the 3 E's, all of you. You think you're all safe because you stayed in the background? Because you were smart enough not to join this litigation, but you were dumb enough to push it, weren't you? Justin Jensen. Yeah, okay.
like,
Betty said
I think the reason Nick thinks this too is because he has no skin in the game. Justin isn't a victim. You know, Brittany's a victim. The people that are in the server isn't a victim. The reason Nick thinks this too is because he has no skin in the game. Justin isn't a victim. You know, Brittany's a victim.
Imagine being in a group chat of a father of a missing child, his national spokesman, and his proclaimed private intelligence group. That sole purpose should be to find this missing child. A child that they claim has been abused, humiliated, and possibly murdered. Okay? And yet you have the sheer nerve to say Brittany is a victim. Brittany is a victim of her own fucking stupidity. How dare you? That is how detached from reality these people are. Again, you're in a group chat of the father, the spokesman, and the private intelligence group meant to find a missing child. And you have the sheer nerve to say that Brittany is a victim of her own bullshit. At this point, even a judge agreed she's not a victim. But keep pushing it, Yvette. Whatever makes you feel important, Yvette. You busybody idiot.
The people that are in the server who are like trusted have something to lose. And Justin really doesn't.
And guess what? Y'all lost! You sure did have something to lose, you buffoon.
So I bet you if they did offer him 50 grand, he'd take it.
Oh.
So I tell you right now, if Brittany wasn't a victim, or you know what I mean? People I directly know and care about.
Wait a minute. Angela's a victim too? I love it. I love it. I love that for years it was acknowledged how obsessed Brittany was with me and, you know, all of that good shit. And until Angela decided to join forces with Brittany and then feed Brittany's delusions that no, Brittany, you are a victim of grannies. You are. I mean, I get it. She's dropping juicy, you know, shit and everything. But don't mistake for 1 minute that this woman wasn't knee deep in all the bullshit with her. Because that's one thing I always said when it came to her manipulating my messages or putting out personal details or trying to make me look some certain way. You had no problem with it when you were my right-hand mod. You had no problem with it when it was stated in the chat. You had no problem with it then.
And Granny wasn't the the defendant, I might take that 50 grand. I sure could use it. Well, because I tell you right now, if Brittany wasn't a victim, or you know what I mean? People I directly know and care about, and Granny wasn't the defendant, I might take that 50 grand. I sure could.
That right there proves to the judge that this was maliciously done. In my opinion, this proves to the judge that this was maliciously done because I was involved. Yvette was turned down $50,000, but on the other hand, she would also give out CPS documents pertaining to a child.
Use it. You know what I mean? So.
And now your friend's losing it. You could use it, and now your friend's losing it. How much do you think this litigation is going to cost, Brittany? How much do you think that's going to cost? One of the 42 is your male stalker. I love this for them.
I don't know. So I'm definitely concerned about Brooke. So I do want to, we didn't want to freak Nick out because Nick we didn't want to say it in that conversation, but I did talk to Brittany for a second. I'm like, Brittany, we got to make sure Brooke is not in that server, you know? But
who's Brooke? Where are you at, Brooke? Who are you? No, it isn't free. Nope. Sure wasn't. Was never going to be. Yeah, who's Brooke now? Who's Brooke?
Looks like, so today I remember seeing there were 41 people in the server. I was like, oh, what's that? And I saw 41. I was like, oh, that must be how many people are in here. And then now there's 42. And I saw you say something about a link. I had clicked.
So you had a man that I was granted a 3-year protective order against in this group chat with you, Brittany. It's a hate bond. Really? You think Earth is Brooke? If you listen to barbecue, about 120,000 before punitive. Oh, bless it.
On the little people at the top, and you can click on it, and it says invite link, like a Discord invite link. So I need to ask Nick, is anyone just allowed to invite anyone in there still, or is it locked down? We need to make sure that link can't be invited.
Why, Yvette, are you worried about people seeing it? Because I'll make sure if we go forth with a malicious prosecution that we subpoena that message, that Discord, that group chat. 42 of them in a group sounds like an enterprise. How many Jane Does or John Does or Does did they name at first? 50? And it turns out they're the ones that were closer to that number. I'm not in any fucking group chat with anybody near the number of 42. Nor are we in a group chat solely to plot against others. That's a criminal enterprise.
Like, people can't go in. And oh, wait, yeah, and there was another thing in the meeting. So it's Tony, me, Brittany, Nick, and the guy Seth, right? Not Seth Sebastian's dad, but another Seth, like the guy. I don't know. It's like Nick's right-hand man or something.
It's like Nick's. Never mind, Jess. Okay, so Seth, now we got your name on the list. Keep going, Yvette. Tell us all.
Okay, Mr. and Mrs. E come in. Somehow they get a link. They come in and they ask them to leave. This was like
Mr. and Mrs. E and Auntie E. You already know what time it is. Is that the guy in the photo? Is that this guy? The enterprise hard at work? You sick son of a bitches. You all sat in a group chat of 42 plus of you plotting against how you could destroy the lives of up to 50 other creators. You couldn't get close to 50, so you dropped the number down to 14. Only pursued 2 of us, lost in the courtroom, and have the sheer audacity to sit over there and act like this is over. This isn't over until I fucking decide it's over. I should take every little bit of this, all of the LARPing, the alleged money gathered, the manipulation, the false filings, the fake private intelligence group, and drop it off in a pretty little bow to my DA's office. You should all be held accountable, and at the very least, you should all be ashamed of yourselves. absolutely ashamed of yourselves that you all did this on the back of a missing child. Sick. You're all sick.
I don't even know. I don't know. So I didn't get a chance to ask about affidavits, but it sounds like tomorrow things are wrapping up with the complaint. Like they're planning on being done with that complaint already final Tuesday morning and having it filed on Tuesday afternoon.
But they didn't. They didn't. They didn't file it to a Friday. And they failed. You failed, Yvette. You failed. You evil. You know what? Matter of fact, what was it? Ask me if I give a shit. BJ's own messages give Yvette's full name. Yvette, I know exactly. If anybody can give me information on this woman, I would love it. Say that I'm doxing. Ask me if I give a fuck. Yvette Range Fuccio, maybe it looks like. Let me spell it out. Range Fuccio. It's either that, it's a little blurry, or it's Ruscio. Range Ruscio. You want to destroy my life, Yvette? You want to go real life, Yvette?
It's also complex, but Brittany is going to be getting out of the shower and she's going to be making a call and then she's got a live. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Something's weird. And I don't
Is she calling Nick? What's the date of this, Angela? Do you give the date? What's the date of this? You gonna call Nick?
know what Sebastian, what Justin said. So I don't know if he's giving, I don't know, man. I don't know. Something's weird. And I don't know what Sebastian, what Justin said. So I don't know if he's giving out information he shouldn't. Oh, and
So you almost remembered the child's name. You almost remembered he's meant to be the point of it, huh?
Nick was really pissed off about Kuminati going up on his panel too. Antonio was saying, well, it was really organic. Kuminati was in the audience, or like in the chat, and they were talking back and forth. And that's just the way Justin is. He just wanted to bring her up to have a conversation. I don't know. But I'm not going to talk about this in the regular chat.
How many chats you got? You busybody bitches. How many chats you got?
No, he can't file without you signing affidavits. I believe what he said he was going to send me was the skeleton complaint. Let me see. I'm going to look at my message. So it said, I'll email you the skeleton copy of the complaint so you can see how serious they're in. But
how serious they're in. How'd that work out for you, Yvette? How'd it work out for you, Yvette? How serious they're in. Do you realize how serious you're all in now? Has it dawned on any of you just how deep of shit you're now in? You dumbasses. I'm going to send you the skeleton complaint so you can see how serious it is. Meanwhile, your friend's screwed. And you're potentially screwed too. Yeah, how serious it is.
I think he left out a word. So I definitely think you have to sign affidavits. I'm going to wait a little while. I bet he was up all night, and I'm going to wait until about noon and message him and literally flat out ask, because I didn't get to ask on the call yesterday about you guys signing affidavits. It was also hectic, and not hectic. It was actually calm. It was a little worrisome listening to him and Tony have that little kind of like an awkward moment and disagreement over Justin.
You love that shit, Yvette. You're sick. You're sick. You literally love that shit. Right. They signed affidavits, body. They all wanted to be all up in this frivolous litigation.
It was interesting. Nick doesn't trust Justin.
Good morning.
Tony's completely vouching for him. Then we got this weird guidance person who comes into Brittany's chat during live stream saying she's on Nick's team and she's not on.
Oh, guidance. The same woman who came over here to talk Maddie Soto. The same woman who was begging to be seen by Betty. Huh. There actually should be a criminal investigation where how all these people work together to not only go after freedom of speech, but to weaponize the courts, go after people. It's like the new mafia. I agree. None of these people have an ounce of integrity. They don't even remember their own lies, who they lied to. What are they promised? All of them. The call yesterday, so that technically they're not lying when they say there are no emails or packets. It's calls. Yvette likes to file BK as well. What's BK? Good morning, Deanna. They should be panicking. And they still have a mole. She did, Cash. Isn't that weird? Like, I'm going to get a shower, then I'm going to make a call, and then I'm going to go live. How about you get a shower, you clean up your house, you get dinner prepared. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just saying. Hey, Casual Art. They're too stupid, Jinx, right? Perhaps the awkward moment was sexual tension. I'm trying to lighten the mood. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, they were up all night. They were up. This is so pitiful. Hey, Peppermint Patty, it's been a really long time. It's good to see you.
On Nick's team, and she's one of, I think I told you guys last night, but she's Justin's mod and Betty's mod, but she is not. She's not in the Discord. She never was.
She's
She's
not
not
in
been
the bubble.
vetted, and it makes them wonder if she's a leak.
You heard the leak now, you big mouth.
Because she got a little bit of information from Brittany yesterday in a text message, which is kind of scary.
So Brittany's the leak too. Justin, I mean not Justin, Nick, Hong. What kind of private intelligence group are you running that you literally trusted these yapping, drama-loving people? Like, seriously. What, are you guys, like, okay? Or you sure as hell know how to pick them? Hey, isn't it funny that a rat chose a bunch of rats?
Messaged Brittany, hey, what's going on with everything? I've been out of the loop for a little bit with the hurricane and everything. And Brittany just innocently sends her a message and says,
because they're a Rico body. Because they're a Rico.
well, we're hoping that this complaint needs to be filed this week. I don't know how much more I can take of this. You know, the attacks by Granny and everything.
The attacks by Granny. Does anybody want to go back in time and see how little I was responding to Brittany? I mean, the honest to God dramatics of this woman who, even after filing litigation, has never shut up about me. She's so delusional. It is concerning. Your delusion is concerning, Brittany. And the fact that you have an idiot like Yvette to feed that, oh, that's sad. This woman don't care about you.
Everyone. And that was a little concerning because this chick doesn't need to know any of this. So we'll see.
So Brittany opened her big mouth. Do you do anything better with yourself, Yvette?
We're going to look into her. The Seth guy, not Seth Sebastian's dad, but the guy, the techie guy.
The techie guy is going to look into guidance. He should have looked into Yvette. What was it? Yvette Range Rucci or something? They should have looked into you.
No, I don't think it's the same Brooke. This girl's young. And I liked her. That's the sad thing. It wasn't until this happened that everything got weird.
Oh my God, now she doesn't like the woman because she was never vetted, and Brittany openly allowed her into a trusted circle because Brittany was too dumb to do her own research and see if the woman was actually vetted. This has to be the weirdest shit I've ever listened to. Exactly, Casual Art. She didn't get a response from Granny for a week, so she poked nonsense Chloe and QB. Put that in.
She was totally against Brittany doing it. She had zero positive outcomes that could, possibilities that could come from this.
Where's Brooke at now? Because Brooke was the only smart one, and of course that made Yvette not trust her. Brooke was the only one that said, Brittany, this is not going to end well. You shouldn't do it. There's horrible outcomes. And Brooke was right. But Yvette was like, well, now I don't like her because she almost guided her the right way. Guidance.
Me doing it. She had zero positive outcomes that could, possibilities that could come from this. She said, I just don't want Brittany to be made a fool of. Like,
put a one in the chat if you think Brittany was made a fool of.
Toasted to Betty. And I don't know burnt toast, but.
So Brooke agrees that Betty looks like a fool too.
I'm like, okay. And then her and Muscles were being all negative. And then they said, and I said, do you guys have
Muscles is a person who recently left. I'm sure Brooke left with her.
Anything positive to say? It's one thing to always look at both sides, but it was all negative. There was nothing good. Like, how about the fact that this could possibly...
How about the fact that she possibly could have saved Brittany from complete humiliation and having to claim bankruptcy, as Brittany stated? How about that, Yvette? With friends like this, who needs enemies? Holy shit.
Thing to always look at both sides, but it was all negative. There was nothing good. Like, how about the fact that this could possibly stop for Brittany? Like, getting Granny to stop doing this to her, the danger to her children and her family, not one.
Oh my God, the danger to her children, her family. I'm not even going to revisit that dumb shit. I refuse. I've argued with Brittany for 4 fucking years. The most danger that ever came to her children is when she gave them their device and they uploaded a naked twerking video. Nothing to do with me. Fuck off, Yvette.
One positive thing they could come up with. It was weird. And then just look at her comments from yesterday. Michelle said, I hate that I'm on the West Coast. I'm 3 hours behind and I miss everything. Who's talking about CPS? And all Brooke says, she literally says, Kathy P in her chat. And that's it.
So what? So what? But that didn't even happen. You're just a liar. What did you want her to write out? If people just whatever.
Everyone else is like livid and saying, oh my God, this is terrible. You know what I mean? But not Brooke. Not one screenshot. Therefore, she was in
Because it didn't happen, you dumbass. It didn't happen. Nobody said anything about CPS with Brittany ever.
my God, this is terrible. You know what I mean? But not Brooke.
Right.
Not one screenshot. Therefore, she was in Kathy P's, not one screenshot, just to be on the safe side.
Because it never happened, just to be on the safe side, you delusional fucking Yenta. It
One
never
screen
happened.
recording in the whole 8 months I've known her. I don't know. And I asked Brittany last night on the phone, I'm like, Brittany, just observe her, you know? Just observe and watch. I go, because I don't know.
Thank you.
I go, it's her lack of care that's really getting me weirded out.
It's the lack of dramatics. Oh my gosh. Brooke wasn't falling for the dramatics. Not one screenshot, not one recording, because it never happened. And Brooks was smart enough to realize that. Therefore, we have to get rid of her. Brittany needs to be surrounded with other useful idiots that feed a victimhood that doesn't exist.
Everyone else cares. Even Lycan cares. You know what I mean? I don't understand.
This is so fucking funny. Oh, shit.
Even people that hate Brittany are coming forward to defend her and care. You know what I mean? And then there's Brooke, her own mod.
Are they really? Hold on, let's listen to that again.
Even Lycan cares. You know what I mean? I don't understand. Even people that hate Brittany are coming forward to defend her and care.
Hey, Yvette, how did those people that hated Brittany, that were coming forward to defend her, where are they at now, Yvette? They took the subs, they took the attention, and they ran. That's where they're at, okay? They weren't defending her. They wanted to be seen in a new sector trying to chase my ass around, you dumbass. And only Brittany is stupid and pathetic and in a delusion enough to welcome them with open arms to then betray her again.
You know what I mean? And then there's Brooke, her own mod, who doesn't even say anything. And then just to pop in and say just that about
God, Yvette and Angela, though, you two are like peas in a pod, man. This is so reminiscent of like the daily breakdowns Angela used to give me.
Nick, I need to talk to Brittany. She can't be saying stuff in that main chat anymore. Not at all. Not when we have a little bit of doubt. What if she's a leak?
You had several leaks and you still have one. But again, you're the biggest one right now, Yvette.
We don't know. I asked Brittany last night on the phone. I said, where did she come from? Brittany's like, I don't know. I go, well, how'd she end up being a mod? Well, she used to send Brittany stuff by email.
There it is. All of Brittany's mods get modded by doing the work for her. Not because they really like her, not because they really support her, like my friend Blissful, who just entered the chat, okay? But I'm sorry, Terry. I did try to explain that. I do apologize. I'm going off statistically that a lot of the, a lot, never mind. You're right, Terry. I apologize.
I don't know. I go, well, how'd she end up being a mod? Well, she used to send Brittany stuff by email about cases. And I'm like, okay, well,
they gone.
Do you know if she's ever modded anywhere else? She's like, no. Because like Kristen, I know used to be a mod for Molly Go Lightly. At least I know where she comes from.
And Kristen turned out to be the leak. Isn't this ironic? Like, do you know Brooke? No. Did she ever mod anywhere? I don't know. But Kristen at least used to mod for Molly. And then Kristen takes the complaint and hands it off to Molly. Okay? This is sweet irony, isn't it?
You know what I mean? Where's Brooke come from? Just watch.
I have to wrap it up.
I'm not saying I'm 100%. It's just weird. A lack of care. She can care. Look at how she cared about muscles. In 1 second, she cared. Because we got to get this thing filed and we can't have anybody leak it. That's
and we can't have anybody leak it. And then it turned around and it was no other than Kristen, the known mod, that leaked it.
That's the thing. They have an agreement with TMZ. And that's the thing. They're going to get a lot of publicity. That's the thing. They have an agreement with TMZ. And that's the thing. They're going to get a lot of publicity. It's literally in the contract that TMZ.
Thank you, Yvette, for proving my punitive damages and adding to why this was done maliciously for publicity.
The TMZ. And that's the thing. They're going to get a lot of publicity. It's literally in the contract that TMZ will be the first one to be able to put this out about this complaint being filed.
What contract? We'll be seeking for that contract. I will personally be reaching out to TMZ to ask if that is true. Because at the end of the day, Yvette, TMZ would have touched us with a 10-foot pole, because anybody with a lick of intelligence could read right through this complaint and see that it was nothing more than ramblings of crazy. Okay? So you sound stupid, Yvette. You sound stupid.
On behalf of a missing child's father.
Oh, fuck off. What about on
So
behalf of the missing
if
child?
TMZ, if it gets leaked beforehand, TMZ won't have any reason to, you know what I mean? They got to be first. Remember when he was telling us about it? TMZ is going to get it first, then the creators, the plaintiffs, you know?
So TMZ is going to get it first, then creators, then the plaintiffs, and then the defendants? Am I understanding this correctly? Do you know how fucked you are for saying that? Do you guys realize how fucked they are for saying that? You are so fucked. It's unbelievable.
So it's extremely important. So anyways, long story. Hold on, let me grab you that so you can see what Muscles posted and then what Brooke posted. 3 minutes.
Oh, you are such a busybody. You just fucked it all up, didn't you? They were already in deep shit. Excuse me, but that just added to it. Fucked in the head, fucked in the courtrooms, fucked in all the places they are fucked. I mean, honest to God, that just sealed the deal. Do you know the minute the judge hears that right there is punitive damage worthy. The fact that you really thought that TMZ was going to get an exclusive to go on national TV and accuse me of a heinous crime. Oh, I love that for you. I love that for you. You are so smart, Yvette. I hope you stay Brittany's friend for eternity. You two belong together. You delusional, busybody idiots. Well, I hate to cut it short, but I've got to go. We have an orthodontist appointment, and then I have to drop my car off to get fixed. Maybe while I'm waiting there, we can go live again and talk some more. But I really appreciate you all being here today. Means a lot to me. I am trying to stick to my daily schedule now that things have calmed down a bit, and force myself to go live. I do appreciate you so much. I know, PsyOps, I know. If you haven't, please consider hitting the thumbs up on the way out. But listen, if you guys are, sorry, I got an appointment. But if you guys are, wanting to keep me company, we will shoot up a live. And yeah. Oh, well, thank you, Cuters. Apologize. I got to go. Better, she just said these idiots signed before the filing was even compiled. Oh, yeah, great point. They were signing affidavits before even having a skeleton complaint. Oh. Wow, that's why the filing was so ridiculous and all over the place and made no sense. Because they were literally filing affidavits before even knowing the complaint. You idiots didn't even have the you idiots didn't even have enough senses to come together and make it coherent. You were all over the place. And like my attorney said, even if in your delusional mind it was defamation, oh, wow, this is impressive. Just when we thought we saw it all, can you get any dumber? This is seriously fucking hysterical. Bunch of idiots. Oh, Yvette's over there worried about Brooke because Brooke's telling Brittany this is a dumb and stupid move. So they're thinking Brooke's going to be the mole. It turns out that Kristen, the one mod that she could literally verify because she modded for Molly, did end up being the mole. And then Yvette ends up being the biggest mouth mole there ever was. This is unbelievable. Oh my goodness. How did they get this far in life? Seriously, this is like the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Oh. Yvette said, I could really use 50,000. Now your friend can really use it. Better get to sell no CPS reports, you morally bankrupt pieces of shit. All right. I'm done. I appreciate all of you. I may be back later. Thank you guys for being here. See you tomorrow morning.